How are you doing?
Well, got a haircut. Look, I've got a haircut.
Yeah, I see that. Me too.
I can see it as well. Yeah. So what are we doing today then?
So, curriculum.
Say again.
Curriculum.
Curate my lum. Okay. All right. All right.
Well, what is the menu you're proposing? Let's call it menu. That's easier to pronounce.
Thank you. There you go. Menu. So
how do you can you pronounce that as a real English speaker?
Menu.
Now curriculum.
Curriculum. What's our curriculum?
Yeah. Okay.
Curriculum. Yeah. What's our curriculum? Yes. So our curriculum, I think, is 4 pillars. Okay. And they are location, management, operations, and marketing. And from there, that splits out into two classes. Yeah. So there's a host class.
Wait, let me quickly open up the mural board.
Okay.
And we can properly show that.
Oh, by the way, May the 4th be with you.
Oh yeah.
Isn't it Star Wars Day or something today?
Yeah, I think so. Location.
Anybody that's listening, congratulations to Taco Bell for doing a great Instagram ad today for May the 4th. It was really, really quite cool.
I even haven't seen it.
So yeah, you might. Yeah, you hopefully you'll see it on Instagram. Taco Bell. It's a great use of Instagram. Well done, you.
Yeah, we'll check it out.
Please send your free tacos too.
Somewhere in Chicago.
Somewhere in Chicago, yeah. Just Taco Tuesday. It's Taco Tuesday as well. So look at that.
Oh,
May the 4th on Taco Tuesday.
But isn't it too early for tacos right now in your place?
Oh well, there'll be people eating breakfast tacos for sure.
Okay.
Or tacos. I say tacos. Everybody laughs when I say tacos. So location management, operations.
Yeah.
And marketing.
Marketing.
Yes.
So then you said you will go.
But then I've kind of split that out into 2 subgroups, which are obviously users, occupants of the space, and hosts of the space, because some things are relevant to some and some are relevant to others.
Wait, I will just try to delete that here. Oh, that's not going to work. So you said two parts.
Yeah, so two different sections. So there's a host section. I called it host and occupant.
Host and occupant.
Yeah.
Okay. Huh.
That's it. Yeah, and so yeah, double 2 C's for occupant. But
thank you.
It's okay. Yeah,
that's my German English. Good. So will it be 2 different courses, if I understand you right, or is it 2 different versions inside the same course?
Well, no, there are points that will cross over, because I want both. I certainly want both groups to understand the challenges or the to have some understanding of each other. Yeah. So there is some kind of cross fertilization as far as that's concerned, but in essence, yeah, it will be 2 different courses. So like we discussed the other day, kind of, there's almost like an opening welcome course, if you like, or which one of you, right, which is your route.
Yeah.
And then obviously from there, everybody goes down their own path, but then meets back at the end. Almost.
Okay, so that means there's, if we go into details, there are two different roles, if we call it roles. Good way of defining it. So one is the host, which is the owner of the space.
Landlord, owner of the space. Yeah.
And then the occupant is the retailer.
Correct.
Yeah, just for the two people who are Germans who are watching. Okay, so then there's one which is the welcome section.
Yeah.
What is part of the welcome? What do you want to cover there?
So we'll be covering the foundation of pop-ups. So defining what pop-ups are. Talking about obviously the two different roles that you find in pop-ups.
Mm-hmm.
And then defining which is out of those two roles, which is the course for you. So and actually, there's almost a sub role in that occupant role, because of being an existing brick and mortar retailer, or somebody who's done pop-ups, or somebody who's in e-commerce. But I think that's probably a bit too in depth and too fragmented.
So it's online or offline retailer inside of
absolutely. Yeah. So the definition of pop-ups, what the aims of both courses are, and then obviously then helping them define the route that or the course that is right for them. So are you a landlord? Are you a retailer?
Yeah, and then they go into the pillars, or is it then different structure?
Right. So the pillars are the same, but the content within those pillars is slightly different for each group. Yeah. So for instance, the location in the retail section is about defining what the type of location is that you're looking for, and where physically that might want to be. Whereas in the landlord side, it's around from your location what people are looking to get. So they're two very different aspects. Yeah. And then in the management side, so the for the landlord, that's all around how do you grow your pop-up occupant. So what are the tools that you might need to take them from a single weekend through to maybe a month's occupancy, and then from a month's occupancy maybe to 3 months, and then from 3 months to an inline store. So how you actually manage their growth. But then from a retailer's side, the management covers everything from recruitment to logistics, technology. So it's a far more in-depth aspect of pop-ups.
And then I'm just messing around here. And then it's operations.
Yeah. So for operations, from a landlord perspective, it's really offering some insight into best practice that I've seen, and how that how people do things differently, and to get them maybe to consider kind of a benchmark around what they do. But then for the retailer, again, that's far more in depth around, you know, how do you manage staff? How do you manage the logistics of that? So the day-to-day logistics of that. How would you operate in terms of customer experience? Making sure that you merchandise properly, and so on. So and I'm basing all of that on my 7 Secrets to Success workshop that I do. And so obviously, in the management, there's things like, 90-day planning and so on, how to kind of plan ahead and so on. But obviously we covered that from recruitment to logistics and so on. And then marketing for landlords is around how do you attract pop-ups into your location. So some best practices or some ideas around how do you bring occupants to the mall. And then from the retail perspective, how do you use social media? How do you use the the actual host location has a lot to offer. So how might you use and get onto things like their website, doing lives, and then we would also cover merchandising from a service perspective, pop-up stands and all sorts of things like that.
Yeah, and that's then most probably in each of these yellow post-its right now, or orange post-its, inside location. What do retailers look to get from you, from your location? That would be then maybe different videos or different topics explaining it, or is it only one each?
I think it won't. For some of them, it might be more than one. But I think that certainly for things like the location for landlords, then that is going to be one. That would be one for sure. With retailers, that's possibly two, because you're also looking at like the physicality of the space, and then the actual location of the space as well. So what you want to look for. And then obviously there's a kind of worksheet at the end of each of those, so people have understand what they've learned and what from a retail side, helping them like we're doing here now, like funnel down. So what is the location I'm actually looking for? So asking them specific questions about who they are and what they do and what's going to work for them, so that they come out of the location section of that going, as X person wanting to do a pop-up, I'm looking for a inline store in X amount of space, and in a location that has whatever, some other defining parameters around it.
I think for me the next step is going into all that details. To say, okay, if you want to teach retailers on defining the type of location, what details are that? Like, is it so really going into, okay, how do I teach that, which you most probably have in your head or somewhere, where you basically put details down to say, okay, these are the different sections of what I want to explain, these are the different topics, and then look backwards. Does it fit better into 2 15-minute video, or is it 5-minute videos or content? Is it a PowerPoint? Sure. So really going into that details to be able to narrow it down. And maybe first really starting high level, going into, okay, defining the type of location, like you just said, that's maybe 2 key messages.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Shall we go into that details online live, or do you want to start that alone?
I think what I'll do is because there's an awful lot of work in there, and I don't want people nodding off as we kind of drag this out, but I'll do that offline, in terms of that that detail out of the orange boxes about what that looks like. I do have a vision around it being, just some 10-minute videos around each subject. But as I said, in each of those orange boxes, there might be two or three videos, just because of not wanting to overload somebody with 30 minutes of information, but to keep it punchy, so it's, you can come back to it, time and time again.
Yeah. So if we just take that, I think the key is getting that structure, laying it out. So it's that you basically have it in front of you, and then you look into how do you want to present that. So then you more look into the how you're going to do that. But before, it's really getting the understanding of what is the value you provide, what is the key message you want them to take away, because then you dial in what is the story you can tell, how do you provide the context, and then you look into, okay, maybe I do this in a video format, maybe I do this in a PowerPoint to download a PDF version, or in a question answer game or whatever. So that's something we could play out. But before, you need to understand exactly what needs you're going to fulfill from a value perspective. Yeah,
absolutely. And I do like the idea of mixing that up as well. I think that just makes it interesting as well. Yeah, for sure.
It's more because then you can always, in the description you will be doing inside the online portal, basically you can say, hey, in this session you will be learning this, your takeaway will be that. So, and because that's public, even before they sign up, they see that.
Yeah.
If that's thought through and building on top of each other, then it's easier for someone to click, hey, I really would like to learn that, so I want to sign up.
Yeah, got it. Cool.
Awesome.
So that's it for today. Yes, thank you for watching again.
That was a quick one.
It was a quick one, but actually there's a lot in there today.
Yeah, true. I mean, a lot of homework specifically.
Well, you did, yeah. But since we met last week, obviously I've been trying to refine that out. I mean, I'm sitting here, obviously reading all the notes that I made, so that we could do that.
If you want, I can send you the link to the mural board, and you can put it into Post-it straight away in digital.
Yeah, I would love that. Yeah, that would really help.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you.
Cool. Thanks for today.
Okay, mate. Thank you.